Hey everyone, this is Nitro. With it being Monday, I am going to be doing another Nitro setup video for this week. Now, I did do one last week, so there won't be too much to cover in this video. I just wanted to get this one done because, well, frankly, I have some time to do one today. So, the very first thing, as always, to cover will be my Dragon Farm results for last week. And the Dragon Farming results for last week were actually terrible. It's actually one of the worst weeks I've had for quite some time, because normally speaking, when I do 4 or 5 runs every day, with the addition of joint battles, I usually get around, let's say, anywhere from 3 to 5 SSR items. Last week I got 2, so it was overall an incredibly dry week. The SSRs I got was one from Joint Battle, a Windcutter Dagger, and then a Frost Rend on Sunday. That's it. I suppose the Timeless Trial gave me a Holy Arc as well, but that's a guaranteed one, right? So those were the only SSRs I got. In addition to that though, actually, I did do 3 random accessory box purchases on Monday, and I did get a True Cross and Veil of Light there. 4 more additional random accessory box purchases on Thursday got me nothing. So in total, well, so I suppose to be fair, that ended up being 4 SSRs after all, which I suppose is acceptable now that I think about it. Monday was, I guess, the decent day, but there were no SSRs from Dragon runs except for the Frost Rend, which for me was very surprising. I did do 3 weapon gambles last week in an attempt to get another good item, and it gave me a Purgatory, a Peacemaker, and a Miracle Staff. So in total, basically everything I got last week turned into ore, right? The True Cross and Veil of Lights were turned into ore. The Purgatory and Peacemaker were turned into ore. I did keep the Miracle Staff just in case I need another one for now. Windcutter Dagger, I actually did upgrade a Windcutter Dagger, so I now actually have one that I can raise to level 50. As for the Holy Arc, it will bring my currently existing Holy Arc to level 50, and the Frost Rend I definitely turned into ore. So that was the Dragon Farm results for last week. And just briefly covering gear, I guess. As mentioned, I'll just quickly mention that the Windcutter Dagger is out at 40 out of 50. The Holy Arc, similarly, can be raised to level 50 soon. It's more a gold limitation right now, right? Because right now it's at 30 out of 40, and I do have that Holy Arc to turn this into a level 50 if I use gold to upgrade it. Now, there's no rush for this upgrade, especially since, in truth, I'm not really lacking fixed damage retaliation in general. So, not in a rush to upgrade that. Just as I get gold, I can slowly change it up. So yeah, that is pretty much the results of my Dragon runs for last week. Very dry week from the Dragons, but I did overall get 4 SSRs as a result. In terms of gear changes, there really has not been much. I'm currently going to be doing a lot of upgrades this week in preparation for Apex Arena. So because Apex Arena the season ends pretty much this week, right? There's only 9 days left. So this coming weekend, the 26th and 27th, will be the final days to grind up in Apex Arena. So I have to try to get myself into Langrisser rank then. Very frustrating weekend because I had 5 different chances where I could have gotten into Langrisser, right? I was above 1885, 5 separate occasions. And every single occasion I lost that critical match. And in fact, at the end of yesterday, I lost a whole bunch of matches in a row, right? There's a loss, here's another loss. I did win one, but then there's another loss. So I basically lost a lot more than I won towards the end, so that I steadily dropped in the score from 87 or so down to 1805. But I remain confident that I can get into Langrisser, but we'll see this coming weekend. The one thing is about that is basically I'm very close, and even at 1805 I am in the top 256, so I could make the playoffs even if I don't get into Langrisser. All it really means is that I won't have the Season 1 avatar frame, right? If I don't get in there. But my personal goal ultimately is to get it to stay in the top 256. So we'll see. Now, briefly about my heroes then. There's been 2 major changes to my heroes, and these are the changes that I really want to mention. And they are that I've upgraded 2 of my heroes to 5 stars. Oops. There we go. So, the first hero that got upgraded to 5 stars from 4 stars is Listel. The main boost would be the hit points, which was an additional 283. That just helps. Every kind of hit point boost really helps for Blood Dance. So it's nice to see that there was that slight increase, right? I mean, the magic defense increase of 21 also helps, of course, but it's ultimately not as significant as the hit point boost, at least for Season 1. Other than Listel, the other character I got up to 5 stars is Leonhard, which is also very, very nice. Leonhard, big attack increase whenever he stars up. 39 right there, right? So having a 6-star Leonhard is the ultimate goal, but a 5-star one is pretty good and definitely usable for Apex. So these were 2 new upgrades that I got this weekend, or I guess this week. So these 2 changes should definitely help in my run to get into Langrisser rank in Apex Arena. Right. Other than these 2, Listel and Leonhard, Juggler will also hit 5 stars this week. I need 9 more shards of him. So that makes it 3 characters who will hit 5 stars, allowing me to have a higher chance of succeeding in Apex Arena this coming weekend. In terms of shard farming then, because I can only choose 3 characters, I am likely going to do Luna for what, like Luna is guaranteed, right? I have a month to grind her up to 6 stars, right? For Ancient's Call. So she is a must level. The other 2 slots, I am honestly trying to decide. There is basically, I have a whole bunch of heroes that I need to level up. Bozel needs 80 shards, Landius needs 150, Listel needs 150, Bernhard needs 148, Luna needs 150, she's a guaranteed pick, Leonhard needs 150, and then Juggler needs 159, right? If I draw for Claret, she's another character that will need a lot of shards. So that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. 8, sorry. That makes it 8 different characters that I want to bring up to 6 stars, which is a pain. Other than that, you know, secondary characters that I use and would like to grind up but don't have the opportunity include Renee, Rachel, Joshua, and even Shafaniel, who needs a mere 18 shards. Now, in the case of Shafaniel though, I think she actually needs to be 6 stars to be truly usable, because at 6 stars, the cooldown of her skills is reduced by 3, right? The 3 cooldown allows her to endlessly toss out a Demolish skill, right? Whereas right now, she can only endlessly toss out Cleanse. So it is a big drawback here that I can only that I only have a 2-turn cooldown rather than 3, but I will likely bring Shafaniel up to 5 stars this week. So I'm probably going to be doing for the next few days Luna, Juggler, and Shafaniel. Right? At least bring her up to 5 stars. And then after Shafaniel and Juggler, after Juggler is done, I'll probably switch over to Leonhard. So it will be Luna, Leonhard, and Shafaniel. And then once Shafaniel is done, I will have to do Luna, Leonhard, and another character. Which may just be Clairette if I succeed in drawing her. So we'll see. Right. So a whole bunch of characters that are works in progress. You can see, right? Yeah, I mean, unless I put money into the game, there's no way I can bring all these characters up to 6 stars. So it'll just be a steady grind, you know, slowly but steadily upgrading characters, right? After all, after a month, Luna and Leonhard will be done, right? It takes 30 days to level them up. So once Luna and Leonhard is done, I could focus on 2 new characters, right? Such as probably, I don't know, maybe my 2 tanks, Langrisser and Juggler. And then after that, maybe Bernhard and Bozel. And after that, probably Listel. And Shafaniel. Or maybe new characters in the future. So, slowly but steadily, month by month, I'll have more and more 6-star heroes to use. And gear-wise, you know, I have been re-rolling enchants. For example, you know, Tieris now has a 7% int increase with 10 int. So that's essentially for her, given her int is 347. The 10 int is like another 2% increase. So this is basically 9% int increase with 43 hit points, right? Pretty solid. Yeah. So there have been some enchant rerolls, nothing too significant, not worth going over in detail in this video. You know, since I already went through my 21 sets of gear last week. And other than the enchant rerolls and using these existing sets of gear, this week will lead to some changes. First of all, I will not do any gambles for this week, because that will save me 300 Oraculum Ore, which is another Epic Martial Spirit that I can purchase. And with that extra Epic Martial Spirit, I may choose to upgrade some of my existing gear. For example, in particular, I am going to replace Leonhard's previous Lone Star armlet, which was not getting any kind of additional stat increase due to him using AoE attacks, right? Lone Star armlet only increases attack and defense during combat, and Leonhard is not getting into combat when he is using his 2 AoE skills, Ethereal Fire Machete and Fusion Dark Emperor Sword. So as a result, I really need to replace his accessory. So that will likely be this Slayer's Emblem. So I need 2 SSR, or sorry, I need 2 Epic Martial Spirits, and this will be raised to level 50. To make my second Slayer's Emblem. That will be level 51. So that will have my Leonhard geared up and ready. And then other than that, the other pieces of gear I'm looking into upgrading, which haven't been done yet, maybe, for example, replacing the Peacemaker on Elwyn with a Ragnarok. Right? I got a Ragnarok very recently, and this is currently, well, level 1. So, I mean, if I can get that to level 50, you know, he can have a fixed damage strike before he attacks, which can certainly help. You know. So, those are likely the 2 pieces of gear I'll look into upgrading for this week. You know, all depends on how many Epic Martial Spirits I get. And is there anything else to mention? Right now, I'm holding back on all my gold because I'll probably do all my changes on this Friday, right? Going to finalize my decision then on which pieces of gear to upgrade, and then do some Apex matches and hopefully get myself into Langrisser and the playoffs. So last but not least would be, I guess, bond upgrades, and mostly the characters have been finalized, right, in terms of bonds. You know, the character I'm probably going to finish upgrading this week is Bernhard, specifically increasing his hit points. Because I have been using Bernhard in my party, and I'm realizing, you know, he has been lacking some hit points. Because this was, I think, at this was previously giving around 5% or 4 or 5%, right? And it should be giving 13% stat increase. So that's a huge difference, which will increase Bernhardt's survivability by quite a bit. So, finishing the gear, finishing the upgrades on my tanks, as much as possible, except for the star levels. And then probably finishing up with Iris. Since Iris is in my party, she's another character that needs to be bonded up, right? And that pretty much has, my 15 characters that I use, all with bonds at a reasonable level. There's a few characters who still need a few upgrades. For example, Varna could have her heart bond get finished for 5% additional stats. I mentioned, Iris. And yeah, so there's a few characters here and there amongst my 15 characters for Apex who still needs a few upgrades. And that pretty much concludes this video. It's basically the final push before Apex, so I'm focusing purely on getting set up for that. And fingers crossed that I'll be able to get into Langrisser. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this interesting or useful. And on that note, Nitro out.